Washington, D.C. Well, now we can speak to Nader Hashemi, who's director of the Center of Middle East Studies at the University of Denver. He joins us on Skype from Denver, Colorado. Thanks for talking to us. So today does appear to be today being Tuesday, it does appear to be a very significant day for this ongoing affair. We've got two big developments insofar as President Erdogan has promised to reveal all. The naked truth is how he describes it. Plus, at the same time, in Riyadh, we're expecting Mohammed bin Salman, the man who many people accuse of being involved in this dastardly act, is opening what is a very, very significant investment occasion for his country.
Well, that's correct. We have basically two competing narratives here. The Turkish narrative based on links and a lot of circumstantial evidence that most people believe to be true, but we don't have credible, verifiable proof yet. Perhaps that will happen tomorrow when President Erdogan gives his speech. And then we have the Saudi narrative. And the Saudi narrative is that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with this murder. It was a rogue operation gone wrong. And so perhaps tomorrow we'll get greater clarity if evidence is presented, which side is telling the truth.
What degree of detail, shall we put it that way, what degree of detail does President Erdogan need to present in order to provide us with a kind of definitive account as to what went on in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul?
Well, I think a lot of it has to revolves around exactly how Jamal Khashoggi was murdered. The Saudi narrative is that it was a brawl. He died in a stranglehold, and they sort of gave the body to a local collaborator. The leaks from the Turkish intelligence services suggested that he was killed very early after entering the consulate, and then his body was dismembered. So any evidence that suggests that the Turkish narrative is the one that holds up and can be proven, specifically with respect to this forensic expert who was an expert in autopsy and came to Istanbul with a bone saw, anything along those lines that speaks to exactly how Jamal was killed, I think will, determine which side has the stronger claim, and it will shape events moving forward. Now,
Nader, hold on, because I want to just introduce another element that has recently come to the fore in this entire affair. Now, he handled Mohammed bin Salman's social media, and now Saud Al Qahtani, one of the most powerful men in the Saudi Crown Prince's inner circle, has become implicated in the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. Reuters news agency is reporting that Qahtani was beamed into a room of the Saudi consulate on Skype, where he hurled insults at Mr. Khashoggi and at one point ordered his murder. Though Al Qahtani was removed from his post as advisor to the royal court to contain the fallout over Khashoggi's death, his ties to the Crown Prince are widely known. He once tweeted that he wouldn't do anything without his boss's approval. And this includes leading an interrogation of Lebanon's Prime Minister Saad Hariri and the arrests of hundreds of Saudi elite. The 40-year-old has a reputation for cracking down on voices that are critical of the kingdom and of the Crown Prince online. Mr. Qahtani, although has been sacked quite publicly, and this is in the early days of this scandal, he's been reappointed in another quite senior position. So how far do you think is Mohammed bin Salman dealing with this particular character in terms of this whole affair?
Well, Saud Al Qahtani is basically MBS's, the Saudi Crown Prince's right-hand man, his enforcer. He's widely known to be the equivalent of a Steve Bannon-type figure within the inner circle of the Saudi Crown Prince. So the Reuters report that you referenced, and I encourage the viewers to read that report, it also suggests that the Skype call that was made from Saud Al Qahtani into the interrogation room was picked up by Turkish intelligence services, and that's now in the hands of the Turkish president. So if the Turkish president tomorrow reveals that audio tape, then I think it will directly implicate the Saudi Crown Prince, given the close and intimate ties, as you alluded to, that exist between Saud Al Qahtani and the Saudi Crown Prince.
So is it at all plausible that perhaps Al Qahtani has just gotten above his station, if you like, and was acting independently, and that perhaps the Crown Prince wasn't informed of the operation that was underway in Istanbul?
Well, I think that's very much what the Saudi official propaganda line would like us to believe, that this was an operation that took place without the approval or knowledge of the Saudi Crown Prince. But given the nature of authoritarian, in fact, totalitarian control that has taken place in Saudi Arabia since the rise of the Crown Prince, it would be almost inconceivable to think that an operation of this nature could take place without his knowledge or without his approval. But proving that MBS had direct knowledge of or played a direct role in overseeing this murder is going to be, I think, one of the big challenges here moving forward.
All right, Nader Hashemi, thank you very much indeed for talking to us live from Denver, Colorado.